Hey there, Darkstar here. Back to do some 737 career missions. I make some credits and work on my career mission guide. Permalink. That's weird. Okay. I am on Discord if anyone wants to join and chat. And hopefully the game doesn't crash. It's been mostly stable today, although the first time I fired it up earlier, it crashed. Alright, so first off, I've covered this before briefly in a separate video, but let's find valuable missions first. Now I happen to know there's one here already, but so a lot of times when you first log in, it'll switch you to employee mode. It did that to me this time as well. So I'm going to make sure you're in freelancer. I recommend to go filter on your 737 if you're trying to find these kinds of missions. Right now that's the only plane that's viable. So you can see, like, okay, there's a 9 million, 9.7, that's not too bad. And if we zoom into this airport, you only see like these 5, right? But if you go missions list on the actual airport, you'll see this expands out. And you can look for like dozens and dozens of them, right? And a lot of them will be a lot more valuable. You can see down there, there was a 13.5 million. And of course it's proportional to the time. So 8 hour, well that's not proportional. 9.5. I guess they're somewhat proportional, but not completely. I'd like to go through and make a list sometime of flight distance and value on the mission. Now I was just in this airport and pulled up a list, and I may have hosed myself because there was one for like, oh there it is, okay, 18.5 million. So why is this one 8 hours, 18.5 million, and the other one is 9 million for 8 hours? That's clearly not sensical, but let's do it. One of the nice things about the 737 passenger missions is they're always to big airports with ILS runways and lights. So I don't care what time it is. I do prefer bad weather, but I don't know if we'll get a bad weather bonus here. We're going to skip because otherwise this will be 4.5 hours long. And it's good to plan ahead if you're going to skip because you need a different amount of fuel, right? You don't want to take a full tank of fuel and then try and land on it. It's too heavy. And in the 737, there's no way to dump fuel either. So we can go into management. Now I think I started with like about this. No, I think I went with, so when I did my last mission, it was about here, so it used about that much fuel on a whole mission. Right, so I'm gonna add a little bit of fuel. Why do you make me click this? Just let me drag it around and then refuel. Okay, so I'm gonna add some fuel. This should go down to about here, I think. Maybe a little less. And I think that's all we can do here. We could give it a bath. No, it's clean. Doesn't look clean. I wonder if my if I need a repaint or something, if that's what's going on. So it doesn't hurt to check the arrival airport. So we can see we have an ILS. Runway 09 right. Yeah, 10,500 feet, that's way plenty. So all good. And I know we'll get a good runway at Copenhagen here. Won't be too short. I wish that these things were faster to get set up. I'm going to go as fast as I can. I'm going to kind of try to follow along with my guide. Because when I first started, I struggled a bit with these, to be honest. So now, is my guide great? No, I don't think so. I think it just helps you find some stuff.
Hi, Captain. We've got a great team aboard with Kajasundo's cabin crew. First Officer Ricky Astout.
Okay, we always want to get the nav on soon. Close that. Get those on. Started the
It's Kaya from your flight staff. We're ready to begin boarding. Waiting for your signal.
Now boarding lately
Ground,
has been going
Summit Delta
really,
Sierra
really
Tango
fast.
1614. Could you please get the passengers on board?
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614. The jetway is going to be connected.
Fine tune that in a minute. So I don't know if this is on or whatever, but okay, baggage
Ground,
takes a
Summit
minute.
Delta Sierra Tango 1614. Could you please send the baggage?
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614. Baggage is on the way.
We've completed boarding, Captain.
See, they're already done boarding. What is going on? Okay, so you just double click this guy. I just put a 4,000 into reserves, cost index. You can do whatever. Cruising altitude, we don't know yet for sure. Probably 360 is what we'll end up getting. Catering is the long one.
Ground,
so
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614. Could you please send the catering truck?
Okay, send to avionics.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango
Get our flight
1614.
plan in.
The catering truck is on the road.
That's fine. Since we're skipping, right? Doesn't matter. Flaps 5. Double click CG to autofill. Make sure your trim is set. I always go more trim than they say, and I often wish I had done more trim than I did. So I'm gonna go to, well, maybe not that far. That's pretty far. Let's go to 6 and see how that works out. Okay. Now we're gonna get our clearance, which will give us an altitude and everything.
Ground, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614 ready to copy IFR clearance to Philadelphia.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614 is clear to Philadelphia Airport via the Odeon 1 Delta departure. Expect runway 30. Maintain flight level 360. Departure frequency is 120.255. Squawk 3675.
Okay, squawk would be here.
cleared to Philadelphia via the
Summit
ODON 1 Delta
Tango
departure.
1614.
Runway tree 0.
Readback
Maintain
is correct.
flight level tree 60.
Contact ground on
Departure
121.73.
frequency is 120.255.
Good day.
Squawk tree 675. Summit
Currently
Delta
at
Sierra
50%
Tango
fuel capacity,
1614.
What?
Luggage loading now complete.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and release my brake, make sure your throttles are down and gear lever is down. If you have a like a honeycomb cockpit kind of situation, I like to get this dialed up to like 180 or 200 or something. Okay, check external view for this guy to finish. He'll still be a while. So slow. Okay, let's make sure this is on now. I think when this is blue, it's not on. So after the APUs come up, you want to get that started, then you can turn this off. Your APU bleed should be on. And I think we're good up here for now. Of course, you can always get a little bit of lights on. You got your dome light. You can get these lights up a little bit. Get that one up. There's some map lights on the side. I did a whole thing on lighting. Way to go. Doesn't take much for the most part if it's night. You don't want them up bright. And then of course these two will dim these down at night. We're fine on those now. Do you have to watch this guy from the finish? Oh yeah, come on. And you don't get any notification when he's done either. Wish I had a little progress bar in here. Like tick, 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 tick.
Ground, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614, requesting pushback.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614. Pushback request accepted.
Oh, what is that guy doing? He's gonna crash my plane.
Tow bar is set, Captain.
Yikes. He's gonna push me into that building right there.
You're cleared to start engines. Ground, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614, requesting pushback tug to push the aircraft straight.
If you can get that off
Summit
soon.
Delta Sierra Tango
Yeah,
1614. Your request has been transmitted to the operator.
We were cleared to start engines, right? No. So what I've been doing is both, and just put them both on ground, and then come down and click one of these. Well, I think it'll start that one first. So when this comes up to, I wait for it to say motoring. I don't know if that's too late. Works, there we go. And we should get the pumps on, I think. Well, we don't need the center pumps, do we? Okay, and then the next one will spin up when that one's done. Are they still pushing us? I wonder if they're going to stop automatically, or do we have to request because we told them to go straight? Normally they stop automatically. Kind of curious to see how far they'll push. Maybe we should request. We'll request stop.
Ground, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614, requesting the end of pushback.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614. Request to end pushback received.
Ground, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614 with Quebec, ready to taxi, IFR.
Okay, that one's
Summit
up.
Delta Sierra Tango 1614. Taxi to and hold short runway 30 using taxiway Quebec, Yankee Romeo Victor Victor, 2 cross runway 22, left India Golf Golf 1. Contact tower on 119.355 when ready.
Okay, we can get these generators on now.
Taxi to and hold short runway 30 via taxiway X-ray Quebec, Yankee Romeo Victor Victor 2 cross runway 22, left India Golf Golf 1 cross runway 30 Alpha 1. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614.
Get all our lights on. Should have done that earlier, my bad. So I get for not following my list. Alright. Okay, next thing to do is runway 30, so it's going to put us at about 300. Close enough. Okay, and we want to get our flight directors on. We're going to arm auto throttle. Alright, we did that. Okay, 135 was rotate. And of course, we can go to our approach here, and that's going to have ILS if we have it in there. Does it here? Do we not have an ILS? Oh, what runway was that on? That's weird. 09 right? 09 right, Zulu. 09 right. This has an arrival. Do we want to use that arrival? Was slat 6. That we could of course get projected takeoff on set. Let's go ahead and taxi.
Dear passengers, our captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please stow your hand luggage underneath the seat in front of you or in an overhead compartment. Make sure your seat back and folding trays are in full upright position. If you are seated near an emergency exit, carefully read the special instructions card located by your seat. A reminder that this is non-smoking flight, including the lavatories. If you have any questions, feel free to ask one of our attendants. Thank you. Dear passengers, please direct your attention to the monitors as we review emergency procedures. Ladies and gents, please direct your attention to the front of the cabin for an important safety demonstration. There are identified emergency exits on this aircraft. Look around and locate the exit closest to you. Should the cabin experience a sudden pressure loss, oxygen masks will drop down from above your seat. Place the mask over your mouth and nose, then pull the strap to adjust it. If you're traveling with children, wear your own mask properly on before helping your children. In case of emergency, after the brace. Brace message, tuck your chin onto your chest and bend forward. Place your head against the seat in front, with your arms wrapped around your head. Ensure your feet are flat on the floor. A life jacket is located under your seat. If necessary, take the vest and slip it over your head. Pass the straps around your waist and adjust like this. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord, only when leaving the aircraft. If you need to refill it, blow into the oral inflating system. Whistle and light are here to attract attention.
Oh, I don't want to get speeding. So we could, sometimes I do skip the takeoff here, because it takes up such a huge amount of time, and I crashed a couple of times taxiing, so. Well, I didn't crash, the game crashed. Tossed my plane into the air for no reason. We didn't get a hold short at this runway, so I guess we just go across. Alright, I wasn't paying attention when I should have been. 360. Apparently we're going to the wrong runway, judging by that. Yeah, I'm a little off here. Departure looks pretty clean, I think. Yaw damper on, flaps get deployed to 5. We have trim set. One thing I've not mastered is pulling up to the hold short point. I cannot tell where I am. I know that it's way past where I feel comfortable positioning my plane. That seems like it should be far enough. How is that possible?
Castrop Tower, Summit Delta Sierra Tango, 1614 ready for IFR departure, runway tree 0.
Like, look at where this is.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango, 1614, QNH 1011. Cleared
Where
for
that
takeoff
is.
runway tree 0.
If I look 90 degrees out my window, it's just barely in front of me. Just feels wrong, I don't know. Oops.
Cleared for takeoff runway tree 0.
Made it.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango, 1614.
Okay, level change, heading select. We're gonna go ahead and get our heading that way.
Dear passengers, prepare for takeoff. Please ensure your seat belt is fastened tightly, your seat is in the upright position, and your tray table is securely stored. Thank you.
Okay, throttle's about 40%, a little more. Okay, everything's looking good. Take off, go around. Auto throttle. Okay, pushing the stick forward. There's 80. Positive rate, gear up. Okay, 180.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango,
bit.
1614, contact Castrop departure on 120.255.
Okay.
Good day.
I'm gonna go autopilot, VNav, RNav. I think we're ready to do that. Little bouncy there. Flaps up.
120.255, Summit Delta Sierra Tango, 1614. Castrop departure,
Okay.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614 is passing 1,900 feet climbing flight level tree 60. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614, Castrop departure, QNH 1011, radar contact, continue.
Gonna wait on VNav.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614.
Last flaps.
Your transponder appears inoperative or malfunctioning. Reset squawk tree 675.
Oops. Nice. That's the first time they've ever called that out. Maybe the autopilot was setting it or something, or the co-pilot. All right, we got flaps all the way up, gear is up. We should do our checklist here. Climbing out to 10, and then we'll go VNav and let it go wild. I'm doing level change to keep the speed at 245 so we don't exceed our speed limit under 10,000 feet.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614, contact Copenhagen Center on 119.4 tree. Good day.
All right, and we're gonna go manual comms, acknowledge handoff,
going to 119er decimal 4 tree, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614.
Okay, and now ATC will leave us alone until we're in the vicinity of the arrival airport. All right. Let's see, we're kind of up above
Passing
10,000.
10,000 feet.
Thank you, First Officer. I like to get safely above 10,000 feet, and then you can go VNAV. Above 10,000 feet, climbing out, we'll go sim rate 1. And we're going to watch our trim wheel and try sim rate 2. If we start bouncing, we'll go back to sim rate 1. Sim rate 1. Sim rate 2. Which is 2x and 4x really. Back sim rate 1. Okay. I think we're just on sim rate 1 now. Okay, let's go back to init index approach. We now have an ILS 109.3. Let's make sure we have 109.3 here. 10930. Activate. 10930. Activate. Okay, and then it says our course is 87. So positive to 87. Oops. There's 87. So if they change our runway, we'll have to redo that. Alright, I don't know that this will do us any good, but I'm going to dial that in right now. We'll also want to copy this and paste it into flap speed. Like we can do that now. We're going to climb. We're projected to be out of fuel. And of course, if you are doing a long flight, you want to go legs and go route data and enter your wind information along the route. That will give you a better fuel estimate.
Captain, our fuel gauge shows 25% left.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, there's 27,000. As soon as we get stable around this corner, we'll try sim rate 4x again. Listen or watch for that trim wheel to start going crazy. We'll go standard barometer now. Barometric pressure. Okay, and I'm just leaving my lights on because we're going to need them in a minute. Actually, to be honest, I leave them on all the time. Just because otherwise I forget. Okay, we're 2x sim rate right now. Whoa, that was a bad time to increase the sim rate. I mean, 2x cuts the 8-hour flight down to a 4-hour on. I did that earlier today. I posted a video. Had a really good run. First time, I think, ever. Trying to see if I can replicate it here with a clean run. Checking over everything. We have our ILS frequency in. We have the course dialed in. Of course, don't skip to descent with the sim rate increased. I usually go to like 1/4 time before I jump, or I try to. Right, 35,000.
Good afternoon, dear passengers. This is your captain speaking. Today, I'm assisted by co-pilot Ricky Astout. Welcome aboard flight DST-1614, inbound to Tinicum Township. We are currently cruising at an altitude of 36,000 feet and an airspeed of 250 knots. It's 3:12 p.m. On behalf of all crew members, we thank you for flying with us today. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the flight. Thank you.
Alright, sim rate normal. Hey there, how's it going? We're just about to skip to descent. Alright. 2 notches down on the sim rate. Alright, let's see. Let's go altitude hold. Let's get our heading in here. Heading select. Dial our altitude down. Let's see. Down to what is the question? 09, right? Okay. Well, we're coming right in, so we're good on that. Let's go legs. Where do we want to go to? Might help if I zoomed into my map here. This thing. I think it's this one right here. B-line, right there. Go back to page 1, paste it in, execute. Go nav activated. Sim rate 2, well, slow speed, just 1 down now. Let's get our speed up a little. And we need to get our altitude down to 3,000. Let's go vertical speed.
Dear passengers, now we're approaching Tinicum Township, where local time is 5:47 a.m. Please stay in your seat with your seatbelt fastened. Personal screens, footrests, and seat tables must be stowed away, and all hand luggage stored either in the overhead lockers or under the seat in front. Please ensure all electronic devices are turned off. Thank you.
Okay. So our VREP was 140, I do believe. Okay, so we're going to be at Boney here. Soki is where we want to catch the glide slope, I think. So we need to be down to 3,000. We've got plenty of time. Okay, heading 87, course 87, that's correct. 1093. Pretty sure that's what we dialed in. Those are both active. Speed brake is already armed, lights on there. We'll be getting our gear down once we get around the corner. Start getting some flaps out. Fuel situation. Approach. We've already got localizer, light slopes armed. Yeah, I hate the tooltips, but occasionally I need them. So, I wish there was an easy way to flip them on and off. Glide slope coming down here. Bumpy. All right, gear down. Gonna turn off auto throttle.
Captain, we didn't retract the landing gear.
Oh my goodness. All right, full flaps, a little more power, a little less power. Settle in there. Okay, 3 greens on the gear. Speed brakes armed. We need to get our auto brake settings back. I know, it's so ridiculous. Like we're on the glide slope. What I did forget to do is get back in touch with approach.
Newark approach. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614 is passing 2,400 feet climbing flight level tree 60.
No, I am not.
2,500.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614, Newark approach, altimeter tree 001. Radar contact, continue to Kali. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614, maintain present heading and altitude, expect ILS Zulu runway 9er, right approach via Mike X-ray Echo transition. Clear to Mike X-ray Echo.
Well, to be fair, I kind of muted.
Excessive flap speed, Captain.
What? How is that excessive flap speed? That is not excessive flap speed.
Captain.
You dodos.
Excessive flap speed, Captain.
That's
Excessive flap
ridiculous.
speed, Captain.
Oh. Still not excessive flap.
Excessive flap speed, Captain.
Oh, there goes my score.
Maintain present heading and altitude, expect ILS Zulu runway 9er, right approach via Mike X-ray Echo transition. Clear to Mike X-ray Echo. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614. Contact Philadelphia Tower on 135.1 when inbound.
Tower on 135.1. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614. Philadelphia Tower, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614, 8 miles west, inbound ILS Zulu runway 9er, right approach.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614, Philadelphia Tower. Altimeter tree 001. Cleared ILS Zulu runway 9er, right approach.
166
Cleared ILS Zulu
apparently.
runway 9er, right approach. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614, wind 062 at 5. Clear to land runway 9er right.
Clear to land runway 9er right. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614.
I wish the auto throttle worked better. The autopilot's not great either. Probably better than I am though. I'd be weaving all over the place. Auto flare got armed. And the gusting is crazy. arm auto rollout.
300.
Whoop whoop. Oh, I turned off autopilot. It wasn't fully armed, so I didn't trust it.
Approaching minimums. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
What?
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614. Exit runway when able. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614. Exit runway when able.
Well, I would have exited way back there, but you put the hold char way up here. If I exit earlier, you would ding me again. I didn't think I touched down that hard, but okay.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614. Exit runway when able.
Look, you know where I'm exiting.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614. Contact ground on 130.05.
130.05. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614. Philadelphia ground. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614. Taxi to parking.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614. Taxi to General Aviation parking via taxiway, Sierra and November Cross, runway, 9er left November, Kilo Romeo, Juliet, Juliet 1.
Taxiing to General Aviation parking using taxiway, Sierra November Cross runway 9er, left November Kilo Romeo Juliet Juliet 1, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 1614. Ladies and gents, we have not reached the gate yet. Please remain seated until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign. Thank you.
Why do they have me going that way if my parking stand is over there? I think I'm just gonna skip. Oh yeah, definitely. There's one, right? No, there's actually like 4 now, but most of them are just like ferry flight or something. Hello. Well, that's too bad. Still made 15 million. Lost my S tier though. Yeah, that was sort of my fault. I did let it get over speed there. It was under the red bars, but whatever. Now, can we find another high-paying one? $7 million. What do we got nearby? Just about everything, I think. JFK is where the big ones are. Or the biggest one, anyway. There's a couple of 10 millions, 15, 13, 16. Oh, what was that one? I don't see it. 10, 16. $17.7, $17.2. I think we'll take $17.7. Sometimes there's a $19 million mission there. I wish there was some way to make it so the auto throttle didn't go up and down, up and down, up and down. Let's see, I think we still got enough fuel, but let's add a little. Put back about what we burned. Since it said I landed hard, I should do a checkup. Just tires. Don't even cost anything. Except I paid for like almost $1 million for the checkup.
Hi, Captain. We've got a great team aboard with Davy Barlow's cabin crew. First Officer Beatrice Foley.
Yeah.
Captain, it's Davy from the cabin crew. Passengers ready for boarding, Captain. Waiting on your okay.
Yeah. They made boarding go so fast, too.
Kennedy Ground, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611. Could you please get the passengers on board?
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611. The jetway is going to be connected.
Catering
Kennedy
still
Ground,
takes a long
Summit
time.
Delta Sierra Tango 2611. Could you please send the baggage?
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611. Baggage is on the way.
Boarding complete, Captain.
Boarding complete.
Kennedy Ground, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611. Could you please send the catering truck?
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611. The catering truck is on the road.
$135.
Kennedy Ground, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611 ready to copy IFR clearance to Venice.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611 is cleared to Venice Airport via the D's 5 departure, C&DR transition. Expect runway 4 left. Maintain flight level tree 50. Departure frequency is 1 tree 5 decimal niner, squawk 0646.
Cleared to Venice via the D's 5 departure, CNDR transition, runway 4 left, maintain flight level tree 50. Departure frequency is 1 tree 5 decimal niner, squawk 0646, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611. Read back is correct. Contact ground on 125.05 when ready to taxi. Good day.
Fuel gauge reads 50%, Captain.
I know.
All luggage on board, Captain.
Good, now we need catering to finish. They're probably just getting there, yeah. I don't know what that guy's problem is. He needs to get with the program though. Can't remember what our departure runway was. 04. It's the wrong knob. Oh my goodness. Okay, an arrival. Currently 04 right. Right. Really? was Laren, right? Laren, and then Albie to Papa. Almost done. Okay, back to approach. 10995. 10995. 10995. And course is 40. Let's go and request pushback.
Kennedy ground. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611. Requesting pushback.
2611. Pushback request accepted. Tow bar is set, Captain.
Alright, I think we're all set up. Don't need to do winds or anything since we're going to skip.
You're cleared to start engines.
Oh, we need to redo takeoff speeds. No, we got it, 135, okay. And cleared to start engines.
Pushback is complete.
Kennedy ground. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611 with uniform. Ready to taxi. IFR.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611. Taxi to and hold short of runway. 4 left via taxiway. Lima Alpha Alpha Kilo Foxtrot Bravo Kilo Echo Cross runway tree. 1 left Kilo Echo Kilo. 4 Kilo Kilo 1.
Okay.
Contact tower on 12 tree decimal 9er when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway. 4 left using taxiway Lima Alpha Alpha Kilo Foxtrot Bravo Kilo Echo Cross runway tree. 1 left Kilo Echo Kilo 4 Kilo Kilo 1. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611.
Alright, quick scan while that starts. Nav. Fuel pumps are on. Power's coming on. Those are on. We'll get these on in a minute. Lights are all on. This is mostly set up. I think we're all set up here. that. And we're good to skip to takeoff. Because I crashed here at Kennedy taxiing. Ground tossed me up in the air.
Kennedy Tower, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611 ready for departure. Runway 4 left, IFR to Venice.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611, altimeter tree 009er. Cleared for takeoff, runway 4 left.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 4 left, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611.
Hydraulics are good.
Ladies and gents, please fasten your seatbelts and secure all baggage underneath your seat or in the overhead compartments. Place your seats and table trays in the upright position. Turn off all personal electronic devices, including laptops and cell phones, and prepare for takeoff.
Okay, flight directors are on. Let's figure out where we're going here once we get up in the air. Off to D's. Makes it kind of hard to take off. There we go. Smooth out. Oh, come on.
V1, rotate.
Oh my goodness. Just in time. All right, gear. All right, calm down.
Sierra Tango 2611, contact New York departure on 1 tree 5.9er. Good day.
Whoa, that's a lot of blue.
One tree 5.9er for Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611. New York departure, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611 is passing 2,200 feet climbing flight, level tree 50.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611, New York departure, altimeter tree 009er, radar contact, continue.
Okay, what is that one? IGN. No way am I going to go back over here and then back up that way. Especially since I'm going to skip to this engine. Alright, gears up. Flaps are all the way up. Cruising for 35,000.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611, contact New York Center on 121.125. Good day.
Going to 121.125. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611.
And I will see you in Tripoli or wherever we're going. I have no idea where we're going. Huh. Tessera? I don't know. I'm guessing Italy. I know there's not enough fuel. We're going through a wormhole. Alright, sim rate 1. Or 2x. Try 4x, but it's doing okay for a minute. Nope. I gotta say, it's pretty impressive that they made it so you can interact with the EFB while it's on the side instead of just when you pop it out. But I'm guessing it's the same process that lets you pop these out. Still nice. All right, 24,000. We should be turning our lights off at 10,000. Letting the passengers roam about the cabin. Our runway up here, go 4 right, this says the course is 039. On here it says 040. I'm gonna go with 040. We went with Laren. So 4,000, 3,000. And catch the glide slope. At D 9.4 right here. So let's see. Always resets this to 1 when you skip the descent.
Captain, we're down to only 25% of fuel.
We're good. $4,000.
Good afternoon, ladies and gents. This is your captain speaking. Today, I'm assisted by co-pilot Beatrice Foley. Welcome aboard flight DST-2611, inbound to Venezia Mestre. We are currently cruising at an altitude of 35,000 feet and at an airspeed of 250 knots. It's 1:21 p.m., and we should expect a smooth flight all the way. On behalf of all crew members, we thank you for flying with us today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the flight. Thank you.
Alright, here comes the scary part. So we should be at normal sim rate. So we want to go slow, slow. I wish this in-game 737 had like its own EFB kind of stuff where you can tune things. Alright, let's get our heading in here. We need drop down to 3,000, I think it was. Go, I'll get one more notch of flaps out. Go. Let's actually go VNAV. What's our next waypoint? I don't think I can see our next waypoint. Approach mode? I think we're about 15 miles out.
Ladies and gents, we've just been cleared to land at Tessera. Please make sure your seat belt is securely fastened. The flight attendants will be moving through the cabin, making a final compliance check, and pick up any remaining trash. Thank you. Milan Center, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611 is passing 4,800 feet climbing flight level tree 50.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611, Milan Center, QNH 1011, radar contact, continue to FF04R. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611. Maintain present altitude, expect ILS Zulu runway 04, right approach via Laren transition. Cleared to Laren.
Okay, we're back to normal speed.
Maintain present altitude, expect ILS Zulu runway 04, right approach via Laren transition. Cleared to Laren. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611.
Right up there is the runway.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611. Contact Venice Tower on 120.2 when inbound.
Tower on 120.2. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611. Venice Tower, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611, 12 miles southwest, inbound ILS Zulu runway 04, right approach.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611, Venice Tower, QNH 1011. Excessive flap speed, Captain. Cleared ILS Zulu runway 04, right approach.
What?
Cleared ILS Zulu runway 04, right approach. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611.
Speed brake is armed, gear is down at 3 greens.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611, wind 156 at 7, clear to land runway 04 right.
Cleared to land runway 04 right. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611.
Well, it's all armed for Autoland if we trust it. A little bit of a roller coaster to trust it right now, I think.
1,000.
All right.
Flight slow, flight slow, flight slow, flight slow, flight slow.
Oh my goodness.
Flight slow,
300.
flight slow, flight slow, flight slow, flight slow, flight slow, flight slow, flight slow.
Approaching minimums. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Okay, reversers are out. Does it want us to go? There we go.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611. Turn next taxiway. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611. Contact ground on 121.705.
121.705 for Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611.
Okay, but we can't actually contact them until we stop and hold short, and I bet you we get dinged for crossing this runway. I hope I'm wrong.
Venice ground, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611. Request taxi to parking.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611. Taxi to gate 330 via taxiway Kilo Mike.
Taxiing to gate 330 using taxiway Kilo Mike. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 2611. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not reached the gate yet. Please remain seated until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign. Thank you. Dear passengers, welcome to Tassura. Local time is 7:33 p.m. For your safety, please remain seated until our captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign. Check around your seat for any personal belongings, and be careful when opening the overhead bins, as heavy articles may have shifted.
If you require assistance
passengers have left, and one of our crew members will be pleased to assist you. On behalf of Liberty Airways, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we're looking forward to seeing you on board again.
Not too bad. But where did my experience go? Should be like 10 million. It's weird. Yeah, we got a bad weather bonus. Hey, almost $250,000. Oh, let's see, I've got half an hour. What should I do? Yeah, we're still #1 in Challenge League for this week. Bronze League. Been working my way through the flight training. Helicopters, it's a pain. I can't do the helicopter stuff. I don't have a collective or a good cyclic that I can use. Let's work on some of the gliders. I've barely flown the gliders. I'm not a total completionist, but I would like to complete 100% all the training lessons, I think. I'm a completionist at things I want to complete. Like when it comes to like the Steam achievements, there'll be a lot of categories I'm like, I just don't care about. Like I really don't have any interest in doing all the world photography stuff. I know you wiggle your rudder.
Welcome to your aerotow training. We have paid for a tug up to 3,000 feet, and we'll be flying a predetermined circuit. When you're ready to release, signal the tow aircraft by moving your rudder left and right a few times.
Uh-oh. Okay. We'll have to come over here.
Keep the wings level until the glider gently rises off the ground.
Okay.
Keep low until the tug lifts off the ground. Keep directly behind the tow aircraft at all times, both horizontally and vertically.
Gear up. Oh.
Excellent. You are maintaining a safe position.
I don't know why, but the trim doesn't work in this. I think my keyboard trim works. Yeah, keyboard trim is working.
Let's keep directly behind the tug as it turns.
Not very smooth, but what they mean by don't lose sight of it. It lost its coloring, but I'm right behind him, more or less.
We're approaching the designated altitude of 3,000 feet. Upon release, gently turn to the right as the tow aircraft turns left. Release the cable. Great flight. You are progressing well.
Okay. And we turn to the right, correct? Okay. Guess it doesn't matter. What? What? I don't think I want to do it again. I'll come back to get an A later. Winch launch. So climb a little and don't climb so much. Then release the cable. This I've never done.
Today we're going to practice using a winch to launch the DG-1001 into the air. Compared to a towplane launch, a winch will get us airborne much faster, but with a lower release altitude. Once we give a go signal, the winch will rapidly accelerate us. Be sure to keep the wings level until the glider lifts off. When you are ready to release, signal the winch operator by moving your rudder left and right a few times.
Maintain a speed of 102 to 130 kilometers per hour.
Rotate.
I can't tell how fast I'm going.
Almost at the top. Level off. And when you hear a distinct change of sound from the winch, release the cable. The cable has automatically back-released. It's a lot to focus on at once. Keep it up, and you'll get the hang of it quickly. It can be tricky to get right, but you did well. Keep practicing, and you'll improve quickly.
Going down. I won't take a C, but I'll take a B for starters. Oh. Okay, we gotta retry that one. It's pretty quick.
Today we're going to practice using a winch to launch the DG-1001 into the air. Compared to a towplane launch, a winch will get us airborne much faster, but with a lower release altitude. Once we give a go signal, the winch will rapidly accelerate us. Be sure to keep the wings level until the glider lifts off. When you are ready to release, signal the winch operator by moving your rudder left and right a few times.
Aha, I can pop that out. I don't know my airspeed though. Oh, it has true airspeed. Okay, here we go.
Rotate. Abort launch.
What did I do wrong?
Today we're going to practice using a winch to launch the DG-1001 into the air. Compared to a towplane launch, a winch will get us airborne much faster, but with a lower release altitude. Once we give a go signal, the winch will rapidly accelerate us. Be sure to keep the wings level until the glider lifts off. When you are ready to release, signal the winch operator by moving your rudder left and right a few times. Rotate.
Okay, and I'm easing forward.
Almost at the top. Level off. And when you hear a distinct change of sound from the winch, release the cable.
I may have released it early.
Abort launch. This is how we do a winch launch. It certainly gets the blood pumping and keeps your concentration high. Keep up the good work, and you will continue improving your skills.
Wow. Guess I had beginner's luck. It's like, I'm not even gonna let you do it anymore because...
Today we're going to practice using a winch to launch the DG-1001 into the air. Compared to a towplane launch, a winch will get us airborne much faster, but with a lower release altitude. Once we give a go signal, the winch will rapidly accelerate us. Be sure to keep the wings level until the glider lifts off. When you are ready to release, signal the winch operator by moving your rudder left and right a few times. Rotate. Almost at the top. Level off, and when you hear a distinct change of sound from the winch, release the cable. This is how we do a winch launch. It certainly gets the blood pumping and keeps your concentration high. It can be tricky to get right, but you did well. Keep practicing and you'll improve quickly.
Hey! I got 100% on this and nothing on that. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. Put this over here maybe. Uh-oh. I didn't get the basic one down.
Keep the wings level, rotate into the climb at the correct moment, and maintain a safe speed and trajectory. A winch launch demands the highest level of awareness and ability to appropriately react as quickly as possible. When you are ready to release, signal the winch operator by moving your rudder left and right a few times.
I think this is the same one. No, it's different.
Cable brake. Excellent, you handled that perfectly.
Ah.
We are
Cable
too
brake.
high to land ahead. Turn back and fly alongside the runway. When safe, turn and line up in preparation to land.
Okay, use your rudder a lot. Dump water ballast. I'm not supposed to turn again and land, am I? Whoa. That is is ugly. No, I think I should have landed coming the other way. I should have gone around, is I think what they meant. Can we do that? No, we cannot. Okay, I know what I'm supposed to do now, though.
Welcome to your advanced winch launch training. Keep the wings level, rotate into the climb at the correct moment, and maintain a safe speed and trajectory. A winch launch demands the highest level of awareness and ability to appropriately react as quickly as possible. When you are ready to release, signal the winch operator by moving your rudder left and right a few times.
Okay, ready for the cable break.
Release the cable and abandon the launch.
Nope.
Welcome to your advanced winch launch training. Keep the wings level, rotate into the climb at the correct moment, and maintain a safe speed and trajectory. A winch launch demands the highest level of awareness and ability to appropriately react as quickly as possible. When you are ready to release, signal the winch operator by moving your rudder left and right a few times. Cable break. Excellent, you handled that perfectly. We are too high to land ahead. Turn back and fly alongside the runway. When safe, turn and line up in preparation to land.
Okay. The water ballast, I don't know what that is, but some air brakes. That sure bounces us all over the place. Let's try our turn now onto the runway. Okay, there's 22. Too fast. land with your speed brakes out?
That was a simulated cable brake intended to prepare you for flying solo. You should be proud of yourself. Keep up the hard work, and you will be just fine.
I think I need a speed brake axis to do better on that. Oh, slipping approach and landing. Okay. So far I've gotten B's. Let's try and set up a spoiler axis here. I've only got 6 minutes actually. I think I'm gonna abandon this. I'll get in this and I'll just set up my axis and everything. I'm gonna head out and have a great evening all.